All right. How do I begin? Where do I begin? I have no clue. I guess I'll just start by saying hello, YouTube. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time. As humans living on this earth, in this reality, collectively, I feel like this year has been a year of struggle, realization, grief, turmoil. I don't really know how to really frame what it is that I'm going to say or want to say in this video. This is just gonna be a video for me to vent, get it out there, get it off my chest, just really turn a new leaf, start a new chapter, get back to my old self. I have been able to finally see how it is that I have not been being true to myself for the past decade of my life. 3 years ago, 2020 was supposed to be, the year of change for me. And it definitely was, but it was not the change that I had went into that year thinking it was going to be. And you blink and it's 2023. I'm not going to act as if the choices I made did not lend to the consequences of everything that I've been through in my life. The difference for me is I've always known that, okay, I'm making these conscious decisions, but I've always had an optimistic outlook. I've always been able to kind of see the best in other people, see the best in certain situations. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. I'm like, I'm doing things the right way. I'm kind. I'm treating people the way that I want to be treated. I'm, giving people the benefit of the doubt, giving situations the benefit of the doubt. I'm doing things the right way. And that's been the difference for me this year, is learning that being so focused on doing things the right way, I lost myself in that. And I did it to the detriment of myself. Yeah. So there are things that you know, but that you don't really know. So you hear all the time, the only person that is in your way is you. You're your biggest, obstacle. You're your biggest hurdle to get over. But you don't really assess that or take it in or apply it to your life. Or at least I haven't. I realize now I could have been a lot farther along in my dreams and my aspirations if I, for one, hadn't been so insecure about my abilities, about my talents, about myself as a person, and if I hadn't wrapped my life up in other people, the people that were close to me or are close to me. I've just been too focused on making sure that everybody else is, happy, that everybody else likes me, managing other people's emotions. And I hate to use new age terminology, but I mean, it's the best way to describe it. I have been a people pleaser, and I am most definitely an empath. And because of my, because of those character traits, um, it's really hard for me to separate other people from myself. So if something's wrong with a person that I'm close to, or they're not happy, then I'm not happy. And that's the whole way that it's been. And it's been a big block to me actually reaching and attaining the life that I want to live, because I've been shaping and molding myself to be agreeable for other people. I feel like in order to talk about what I've learned about myself, what I realized about myself this year, and how I'm going to be moving forward in my life, I feel like I kind of have to set the stage as to my motivations around, I guess, why I think a certain way, or yeah, why I think a certain way, and what my goals were. And, you know, how that has not benefited me whatsoever. My aspirations for my adult life were to do something with myself, you know, come out of my small country town and really build a successful life. And I wanted to, well, not want, but I mean, I'm a creative individual. I feel like I had that creative passion, and I wanted to be a film editor. And even that choice in career, it was, I've always leaned toward things that other people aren't doing, or I've always wanted to be different in some shape or form. So, you know, I knew that I wanted to work in films. I was weighing that out as a senior, what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to, you know, go into dentistry, go into the medical field for the money, or if I wanted to pursue my passion, which was working in films, working in TV, television, just making content. And content was not what I called it, but that's what you can call it, because that's what they call it today. But that's what I wanted to do. I made that decision to go to college for film production. So I joined the military to help pay for college, because I didn't want student loans, which I ended up having anyway. Defeated the whole purpose. But I joined the military because there was two options from my mom. It was either join the military or go to college. And the go to college part, everybody was pushing, but nobody was providing, how am I going to pay for college? And I wasn't like somebody that was popular in high school or in a lot of clubs or doing a lot of extracurricular things. I tried for certain scholarships, but I didn't receive any. So there wasn't like any other avenue for me to be able to go to college. But that was like all I was being told that I needed to do as an adult. Go to college, go to college, go to college. Join the military or go to college. And I was like, I don't want to join the military because I don't want to die. And, you know, you can die at any time. But I just had that fear of joining the military, going overseas, and dying in a war. So, but I was like, I'll join the National Guard. And yeah, I'll get to, you know, be a part-time military member and receive the benefits to go to school. You know, they're going to pay for school. That was the biggest draw for me. My recruiter was like, oh yeah, we pay for pay for school. You got tuition assistance, and yeah, you won't have to worry about, you know, paying back any loans or anything like that. Not the case. So I was eligible for tuition assistance from the National Guard. I was eligible for Pell Grant, and I was eligible for what is it? GI Bill. I was eligible for 3 different things. The problem with that was I wasn't allowed to use all 3 things at the same time to pay for my schooling. And because I wanted to live away from my family, live away from the town that I was from, I wanted to get away, I had to live on campus. So I could have went to school and not had any loans, but because they weren't going to allow me to use all of those benefits at the same time, I ended up taking out loans to pay for living on campus. You hear it while you're going to school, like, you don't have to go to school for film production. You could just, you know, intern and work on set. And I'm like, well, I still want a degree. I still want that that experience behind my name. I want to go to school. So, you know, I could have avoided the loans and all of that because I'm not even working in that field right now. So, and I heard that too going to school from a lot of people. Oh, I went to school for this, but you know, I'm doing something else. And I was always like, isn't that a waste of time to go to school for something and then not do it? And then I turn around and do the same thing. So I guess karma for being judgmental on people who do that. So regardless of what you go to school for, if you don't end up doing it, it just wasn't your purpose, or, you know, it's just not meant for you to do at that point in time. And I'm okay with that because I used to really be feeling a type of way about, I went and got this whole degree and I'm, you know, not working in that field at all. And I just felt shame about that. But again, I'm giving myself grace. As hard as I can be on myself, I'm also learning to give myself grace and think about the things that I have been dealing with or was dealing with at the time and why I made the decisions I made. I didn't like the idea of the film industry, that I would have to continuously be looking for a job. I would have to prove my worth, which you have to do at any job. You have to work your way up. But it's just like, there was a lot of, I don't want to curse, but there was a lot of, there was a lot of butt kissing. That's just how I felt. I felt like in order for me to make it in this industry, I'm going to have to schmooze and kind of be fake in a certain sense and just constantly be searching out that next opportunity, constantly trying to make sure that I'm seen a certain way so that I can get the opportunities that I want to get. And then on top of that, being a Black female, that's an obstacle in itself in any industry. So right, I had a lot going on when it came to my decision. That was really the biggest decision for me, on top of the things that happened in my life that kind of caused me to lose some of the passion that I had for making films, creating content, and being creative. Like that passion really died out, and it was kind of just like, okay, time for the backup plan. So this year, with all that said about how I decided I didn't want to be in the film industry and I was going to go with my backup plan. And my backup plan was to have a career in IT. So I started looking into IT for the past year, 2 years. I was looking into boot camps, looking into exactly what sector of IT I wanted to be in. and I decided, I want to get into cybersecurity. In the process of me considering schools, I was talking to people that I worked with and talking to, there's a lot of veterans at my job, talking to certain people, and one veteran recommended this school to me. He was like, this school is veteran friendly, and they have a short program. They have short programs, and you'll be able to, get started the way that you want to get started. So I looked into the school, and it sounded like everything that I was looking for. I wasn't looking to go back to school for another 4 years. I wasn't even looking to go back for another 2 years. I kind of wanted to do a boot camp style education, get all the main things that I needed to kind of just get myself started, to get myself in the door. So the school was Omnitech Institute, and they had an 8-month network engineering program. And the network engineering program was the program is called network engineering, but you were studying pretty much every facet of IT. Not every facet, but it was like, okay, you go from studying CompTIA, which is the basics of IT, to, okay, now we're studying Linux. Now you're learning Linux code. Now you're learning servers. Now you're learning Windows. Nothing was like on the same, nothing was in the same category. So I'm like, okay, we're learning all this stuff, CCNA, networking, and I'm like, it's network engineering, but it was like an overall coverage of IT. So nothing was in line. So Omnitech, 8 months, network engineering certificate. You get 4 vouchers to get certifications, IT certifications. So the plan was to go to Omnitech, be done in 8 months before the end of the year, have a network engineering certification, and get 4 IT certs, get my CompTIA A+, get my Security Plus, and get whatever other industry standard certifications I was going to need to get myself in the door in an IT position. That was the plan. They were on the list of schools that my employer would provide tuition assistance for, and that was a plus. So I'm like, okay, I can get tuition assistance. I can get my VA benefits. The cost of tuition at the school, because it was a private school, was $24,000. And I'm like, I don't have $24,000. And I'm not trying to get in any more debt, because I am deep in debt right now. The people that I spoke with initially, they were like, oh, well, we can sign you up for this loan, and when you get started, you can sign up for a scholarship from us. You can apply for a scholarship, and you can we'll use your tuition assistance, and we'll use your VA benefits, and that'll offset the loan. And I'm like, okay. I thought about it, and I'm ready to get started in a new career field. I'm ready for new opportunities. Even though I have enough debt, I'm like, with those things included, that'll bring my cost of tuition down to like less than half. And that's something I can manage, especially if I'm expecting to get into a job where I'm going to be making a lot more than what I'm making now, because the majority of my money now is going towards paying off debt. So if I am going to be in a new career field where I'm going to be more comfortable, I'm willing to, invest in myself. I just bought it. I bought a hook, line, and sinker. I was thinking I was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to start a new chapter in my life. I'm going to get this certification, and I'm really going to change things to do what I want to be doing, what I had wanted for my life. And no, that's not what happened. It was a dumpster fire. So the school was unaccredited. Didn't find out they were unaccredited until I went to submit my VA paperwork, and they were telling me they couldn't do it. The president of the school was like, oh, don't worry, we'll get our accreditation back before the end of you completing the program, and you'll be able to get your benefits. They never put in the documentation to get my tuition assistance from my employer. They had 8 months to do that, and they never did it. It was a whole lot of back and forth. It could have been done at the beginning like it was supposed to have been done, but I found out about halfway through the program that they hadn't done anything. The school closed. The school closed. I did not finish my program, and now it's a whole situation where the school has money in my name. I'm supposed to be paying this money back, but I don't have my certification because I didn't finish. And the state and who else, and the state and the lending company, they're trying to figure out, oh, what are we gonna do? So yeah, it's a whole hot mess. And this is the exact opposite outcome that I wanted when I decided that I was gonna go back to school. And in the midst of it, there was so much going on personally. Like, I'm trying to pay my bills. I'm getting less hours at work because I'm going to school 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. School is like a part-time job. We're in school, and half the time we're off topic. We're not learning anything. You're dealing with the egos of the teachers, the egos of the president. You gotta listen to rants about racial injustice when all you want to do is learn IT. You want to get hands-on. When it came to hands-on stuff, we would start it and nothing would ever be organized, and we would just end up never doing what it was we were supposed to do, ever. And it really started to feel like a waste of time. And by the time I decided that maybe I need to leave the school, I had finished over half the program. And if you do more than half the program, according to them, if you leave, you still got to pay the full cost of tuition. What's the point of paying you guys the full cost of tuition if I'm not going to get my certification? So I decided to finish. And unfortunately, they closed before I could finish. So, with the personal stuff, in March, my uncle passed away unexpectedly. And then a week later, my grandfather passed away. I've never lost anyone close to me, like in my immediate family. Although I wasn't extremely close with my uncle, I was somewhat close with my granddad. He was kind of like my interim father figure. That was just a whole lot, and I didn't even have time to really process that the way that you should. It was kind of just like with my grandfather. He had been sick for years, but you never really expect for someone to pass away. And my uncle also had been sick for years, but again, he was an unexpected death. Both of them had been sick for years, but for them to pass away back to back like that, it was just a lot on the family. I'm gonna have to finish this another day. The video is not gonna be consistent, but I want to make it, so I'll finish this another day.